Welcome guys back to another video in the channel. Today we will be doing a 2 or 3 part series of Premier League predictions. What will happen, what I think will happen in the rest of the Premier League. We'll be discussing relegation, top 4. But in today's episode we will be discussing relegation. I'll be predicting my 3 relegated sides that could go down in this season's Premier League and the rest of the games of the Premier League. So let's get straight into it. So for the 18th position in the Premier League, this is going to be quite a hard one because I think the 19th and 20th positions are pretty much secured. But this 18th one is going to be a very hard one to predict because it depends whose fitness is better, who comes back the strongest, and all of the sides that are contending for this position that could go down. It's a very difficult one. But I'm going to go with the team that is already there, and I'm going to go with AFC Bournemouth. They are sitting on 27 points and have a goal differential -18, which and they are level on points with Watford, who are 17th. But I think Watford have a bit more quality, and I think they have quite a good core of players that I think will grind them out, and I think they will survive the Premier League. Watford, especially. You can see that win against Liverpool, 3-0 winners, Ismail Assar, likes of Troy Deeney. These are players that could really help Watford survive. But Bournemouth, I think, have just not been good enough this season. I think this could be the end of the road for Bournemouth. They have been very good over the years, and it is sad to see them go down. But looking at some of their fixtures going into that, I think they will go down, Bournemouth. So let's look at some of Bournemouth's fixtures coming up. So Bournemouth's next 3 games that have been scheduled by the Premier League look something like this. They are playing Crystal Palace, and then they're playing Wolves 4 days later, and then they're playing Newcastle. All of these games, they could win, and they have the potential and the quality to win. But because Bournemouth haven't done so well this season, it's hard to predict that if they will win these games. And I just don't think they're going to get all 3 points from it. Looking at some of Watford's fixtures coming up, they have Leicester City, Burnley, and Southampton. I obviously against Leicester City, maybe they can snatch a draw, maybe. But against Burnley and Southampton, I do expect Watford to probably get a win, which is why I think I'm going to go with Southampton ahead of Watford. Again, there's more games left as well because Watford have to face the likes of Manchester City, Arsenal, and Chelsea as well. So it's going to be quite hard for Watford, but I think because they have such a good team and such determined players, I think they could get results in some big games, whereas Bournemouth may not. So that 18th position, I am going to give to Bournemouth. The 19th and 20th positions, I think, are a bit more straightforward, and I'm going to go with the 19th position. It's going to be Aston Villa. I think this season has been very underwhelming. They've done a lot what Fulham did and spent big amounts of money, and they came up with some good players as well, but they've just not been able to do as well this season. I think because they have loads of quality in the squad and because they spent so much money on so many players, they might have quite a deep squad and maybe they could get themselves out of the relegation. But to be fair, this season they haven't shown what they are capable of, Aston Villa. And I think looking at some of their matches they have to play, they have to still play some quite difficult games, which I don't think they'll be able to win. They have to play the likes of West Ham, which are in a relegation fight with them and I think West Ham are a better team with so much more quality. So I think they will lose the games against Aston Villa. Again, they're playing Everton, Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool. So these are games I don't expect them to be winning, Aston Villa, and I don't favour them. They've got the likes of Grealish, but I think he will move on to a bigger club. But in this 19th position, I'm going to go with Aston Villa, and I think they will go down. The 20th side I'm going to say that is going to go down is Norwich City. This is because they've just not been able to get consistent runs yet. At the start of the season, Pukki was their best player and he did pretty much get the player of the month in the first month, and they did very well, I thought. Even though they did lose 4-0, didn't they, in the start of the season to Liverpool? I think they've really got them, they really did have a good run, and they did beat City in that run as well. So I think they were doing very well towards the start of the season. Then they started slipping, and I think the quality they didn't have was showing. It really was, and I think they still have some really good players. Norwich, the likes of Timo Pukki as well. He's like an international, plays for Norway, I'm pretty sure, or Finland even. Todd Cantwell, Max Aaron. So they do have some good players, but again, they're inexperienced players. They're quite young players, some of them, some of the players they do have, like Byram as well, plays at left back. So I don't think they've just had enough to stay up, and I don't think they're going to get themselves out of it either. I've just not seen enough evidence to show that, and I think because they won't have their home advantage, I think they are going to lose their games coming up. Again, they do have Arsenal to come up, so Arsenal are playing some of these relegated, my predicted relegated sides. So I don't think it's going to be very good for Norwich. Looking at some of their games quickly. They have to play the likes of Manchester City, Chelsea, even Watford, so that might be a big game in comparison as well, especially Brighton. Maybe they can nick a few points here or there, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get themselves out of the relegation zone. So I do think Norwich are going to be 20th and they will go down this season. So thank you guys for watching this video. Those are my relegation predictions. If you guys have different thoughts, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. There'll be 1 or 2 more parts more of this before the Premier League starts, so please go check them out when they come out during the week as well. Those are my relegation predictions. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.